He has given me victory. Almighty God has given me victory. He has given me victory. Oh, all the days of my life I'm praying.
It's a good day to be together as women and men. We got one man, not many. But it's a good thing for men to be among women. We're so glad you're here today because you have so many things you have to do today, but you feel to be in the presence of people who want to worship and thank God for His goodness. What a joy it is when we all get together to celebrate God's goodness and mercy in our lives. And so I'll hand you over to Moira, who is our moderator. We thank you for doing all that you have to do today and to be with us here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vicky. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. We are very happy that you're here. You've come to join us to give praise and thanks to God for our second anniversary. Psalm 133 tells us, behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. And so, we appreciate you coming out to join us to thank Him for giving us the 2 years. Now I will call on our sister Vanoya to give the welcome message.
Good morning, everyone. First, let's just give thanks to God for bringing us together to be here in this fashion. On behalf of our Women Prayer Circle, we welcome you in our midst and we thank you for coming. And we pray today will be a blessed day in your life and you will not leave the same way you came. So thank you so much for coming and enjoy the rest of the service. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanoya. Okay. It is now time to praise and worship the Lord. The Lord delights in the praises of His people. Psalm 149:3 says, let them praise His name with dancing and make music to Him with timbrel and harp. As we go into a time of praise and worship, the choruses are found on pages 6 and 7 of the program. Okay. Sisters of the circle, can you join me as we praise our God today? Please excuse me, you can see I'm very excited about today. In everything, we got to go to God in prayer before we do everything. So I will now ask our mother to give us the opening prayer.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I can hear you. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Praise the living God.
Hallelujah.
God is good.
All the time.
All the time. God is good. We have come into this place, gathered in His name to worship Him. We have come into this place, gathered in His name to worship Him. We have come into this place, gathered in His name to worship Christ the Lord. Oh, worship Him, Jesus Christ the Lord. Heavenly Father, we just praise your holy name. We are not here by chance. You have destined us to be here this hour. As we have gathered here, Lord, we are inviting your blessings.
Amen.
This is the Holy Spirit to come and take utterly, control of this meeting. And we are asking you, Lord, for your own program, and the way that it should go.
Amen.
And we're asking you to be the leader of this hour. We thank you, Lord, because you are worthy. We thank you, Lord, because you are worthy to be praised, Lord. That is why we sing the hallelujah chorus. Because you are the one and only one, Lord. In sickness and in health, you are there. So we say thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for this morning. As we open this session to you, Lord, we say, Lord, have your way. Have your way, Lord. And what we are going to do here is not for ourselves, all to your glory and honor. Amen. Lord, as we come here this morning, we pray that your name will be glorified. Let us hand over the session to you. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Anthony. Okay, so we're going to join us in a praise and worship song. And the first one is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is indeed a great and mighty thing to serve the Lord. Because that's all we can do, praise Him and serve Him. Because there's nothing else we can do for Him. For all He has bestowed upon us, all He has given us. And so it is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. Walking in the light of God. Oh, walk, walking in the light. Oh, walk, walking in the light. Oh, walk, walking in the light. Walking in the light of God. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. It is a great thing to serve the Lord. Walking in the light of God. Oh, walk, walking in the light. Oh, walking in the light. Oh, walking in the light. Walking in the light of God. Hallelujah.
Feel free to clap, dance, whatever way you want to praise the Lord.
We gotta lift Jesus higher. We have to lift. If you don't praise Him, He said the rocks will cry out to Him. They will praise Him, so we have to praise the Lord. Lift Jesus higher. Lift Jesus higher. Lift Him up for the world to see. Keep setting high. Be lifted up from the earth. Our God made us to be. Oh, be lifted higher. Lift Jesus higher. Lift Him up for the world to see. He said it's high. Be lifted up from the earth. Our God made us to be. Be lifted high, high, high. Be lifted high, high. Oh, we're lifting high for the world to see. He said it's high. Be lifted up from the earth. Our God made us to be. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Praise the living God. Hallelujah. So we're gonna worship Him with it. I will praise you, Lord. And let's just worship God. Let's just praise Him. We cannot praise Him enough. For all His mercies, for all His good for us, in our going out and our coming in, for taking us through those dangerous highways and byways every day. We gotta praise Him. Amen. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
And that's all He requires from us. To have praises. I will praise Thee, O Lord. I will praise Thee, O Lord. With a heart of thanksgiving, I will praise Thee, O Lord. Oh, I will praise Thee, O Lord. I will
Hallelujah. Every praise is to our God. Every word of worship is to our God. Every praise is to our God. Sing hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah to our God. Every praise is to our God. Sing hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, hallelujah to our God. Every praise to our God. To our God. Hallelujah. Amen. Hallelujah. My God. Hallelujah. Higher.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, sisters, for that time of praise and worship. The Lord loves to hear from his children, giving him praise and glory for all the wonderful things that he does in our lives. Great is his faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies we see, and so we ought to praise him every hour of the day. Praise the Lord. I will now ask our sister Joyce to give a brief overview about the Women's Prayer Circle.
God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. This is just to give you an insight about the birth of the Women's Prayer Circle. Women's Prayer Circle, WPC, was born out of a burden God gave our leaders through a dream in March of 2017. However, this was not the first time she had received the message. As such, being obedient to God's call, she reached out to some women and started the prayer circle. In the Women's Prayer Circle, we study the Word, hold each other up in prayer, and pray for our families and friends, our community, and the world at large. Particular attention is paid to prayer requests. WPC is a mosaic of women from different walks of life, and we embrace women of every race, color, nationality, or creed. The group bears testimony to its name and scripture testament of faith as recorded in 1 Thessalonians 5:17, to pray without ceasing. The group continues to pray fervently and is thankful for the many requests God has answered, prayer requests God has answered. God may not always answer the way we expect him to, but he sure answers every prayer, and so to him be all honor and glory. We look forward to where God is taking the group as we press towards the mark for the upward calling in Christ Jesus. May God's love, joy, and shalom always be with yours and ours and all who come to the circle. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate 2 years of God's unmerited favor towards the group. Thank you.
It's mighty quiet in here, so in order to shake us up, our leader is going to take us into a time of breaking the ice, an icebreaker time, and we're going to have some fellowship here. As she prepares to come, let us sing again. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the God is good. All the time. All the time. God is good. We serve a God that is good all the time.
God be all the glory. So, we got some little goodies here for anybody who's going to answer this question. You know how many people went to bed last night and wake up? The other day I think about that when I wake up. How blessed we are, no matter what our situation, no matter what our circumstances are. It's still a blessing that we're on this side of time. And it's such a blessing. Every morning I wake up, my room is turned to where the sun rises. And I said, Lord, thank you for the rising of the sun. For me to see the sun one more day shining in my face, because the sun just slapped me on my face. It slaps me so hard. God, I thank you. Even if I don't want to thank God, when that sun gets in my face, I said, Lord, what a blessing it is. I slept, I didn't know I was sleeping, but he said, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time for you. I have a business for you to do. We all have something for the Lord. That's why he's still keeping us on this side. All right, because our duty over here is not done yet. We have more when we go over to him. But right now, he has something for us. So, the first question, the biblical Bible questions. How many books are there in the New Testament? How many books? No, none of you. No. Yes. No, not 39. That's it. No. 27. You stop Googling. We don't allow anybody to Google. Whoever Google, that's what you decide to do. Cat, you better stop. No, that's disqualified. No way. Well, that question is out. 27 books of the New Testament, so that question is out. No, no cheating. Close that, no cheating. No cheating, Mr. Asatu, no cheating. No cheating. Okay, we have more coming. On what day of creation did God create man? Remember, God took how many days to make the whole world and man? So on which of the days? Mr. Asatu, don't cheat over there. It's a nice icebreaker. That's good. So I can get people talking.
On the 6th day.
You disqualify things. Like you came in this and like, no. You're one of us.
That's already said.
I didn't cheat. I said the 6th day.
You didn't cheat? All right, okay. Okay. All right, then the 6th day. At Jesus' crucifixion, when he was crucified, what did the soldiers put on his head? You out now, you can't say, you won, you're out of the question. Yeah? Okay. No showing, no cheating. No, nobody should tell anybody the answer. Everybody should answer on their own. Okay. What is the first of the 10 commandments? You're not here, Reverend Alexander. Don't get into that. No. What is the first of the 10 commandments? No, one person answered it. What is the first of the 10 commandments?
The first person to raise their hand to answer the question. We are disqualified, so.
We have 10 commandments. What's the first of the 10 commandments?
We can agree.
Auntie May? We say that. Okay. Well, okay.
Why?
Let me say that you're going to answer if you know the answer. Why not? We're having fun. Come on. Jesus Christ. Who were his first two apostles? The first people he found. If you glance at the other, no, you're not going to get two prizes. No. Somebody else. No? Who were the first two? No. You got one, but you didn't get the other one. No. The first two he called to follow him. Yeah. Okay, there were Peter and Andrew. So that's us. This one everybody knows. Which of the apostles doubted Jesus' resurrection until he saw him for himself?
What's time to go? What's time to go?
That's what he asked. One already.
AC got it.
Okay. All right, let's see. Yeah.
Let's give our sister a hand. She heard it.
Okay. Who was known as the wise king? Who was the wisest king? Wisest
First time to go up, first time. No, once you've won, you cannot participate anymore, but we thank you for your
Who
enthusiasm.
was the wise king? Okay.
Yes, Mama?
Yeah. The wisest man. Yes, Solomon was the wisest man known to man. Okay, thank you. So now that we've warmed up, I'm going to hand you back over to our moderator. That was a good exercise. Pause to break the ice. Okay. Thank you very much.
Let's give a hand to our leader for the icebreaker. Can we give Victoria a hand? Our icebreaker. You know, God's work must always go on.
Amen.
And so our leader is going to bless us with a song.
No, you want somebody to bless us. I'm going to call Reverend Alexander to bless us with a song. Come on.
Our God knows how to surprise us.
Let us worship the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I have a big mouth, so let me take the mic down a little bit. It's an honor for me to be here today. I feel happy and blessed to be among the women. Praise God. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Praise God. Like a ship sailing out on a tree so rough and long, so far from home, so far from shore. He set out in search of a reason to go on, and there I found it in the eye of the storms. So no matter what your storm clouds may run the ship of mine, the light of your Savior will lead you safely through the night. And though your ship may be rocking and your sails may be torn, I shall rest in the eye of the storm. Saints, when your wind and your water rages and your billows begins to roll, the blessed This ship of mine, the light of our Savior, will lead us safely through the night. And though your ship may be rocking and your sails may be torn, I shall rest in the eyes of the storm, and you shall rest in the eye of the storm.
Hallelujah. You know, the Bible tells us, except the Lord build the city, the watchman waketh all the day. We may plan, but God has master plan for us. And so we thank God, because I believe that this was in God's plan for today.
Yeah.
Amen. Let's give our sister another hand. Amen. Thank you, Reverend Alexander. Thank you. When the Lord gets ready, we gotta move. We always have to be prepared, because we never know when He wants us to go, where He wants us to go. Amen. At this time, I'm going to call on Nella Davis to introduce the presenter of our workshop this morning. Nella.
My mom is someone who has a passion for the Lord, and I've said this before, but has always had a passion for women, and has always had the ability to bring women together. And as she's coming forth today to give us a message, it's going to be about Sabbath. I think the message that she's going to bring is something that all of us will be able to take something from, and that we will be able to go forth and hopefully apply to our lives. She has been working tirelessly for this group and for this event, so please welcome Reverend Victoria Faux.
Well, my beloved, the women, we studied a book called The Sabbath by Wayne Mueller. It is a great book. I recommend to anybody. That is a wonderful book. It's just called The Sabbath. He is a minister in the Midwest. He did such an excellent job in writing what the Sabbath is all about. Because many of us think the Sabbath is Sunday. It's only Sunday. That's what we grew up on. But we're going to see just a few, because I cannot go through everything about Sabbath. It's just wonderful reading. Anybody can afford to buy the book. I think it's just about, I didn't even get it secondhand when I bought it for the group. But it's an excellent, excellent book that all of us, it just brings back to mind all the things that we know, but we take for granted. What we should be doing, and we know all the things he said about, but it's just awakening. It's an awakening for every one of us when we were going through the book. Everybody was like, yeah, I know somebody I can give this book because it's speaking to me, and it speaks to every one of us. So we'll start off with the meaning of Sabbath. What is Sabbath? Anybody can tell me what Sabbath is? What's your own? What do you think is the meaning of Sabbath?
Rest.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. 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 But you know, the Sabbath of the Jewish meaning, or let me put it this way, In Exodus 20, when God gave Moses the 10 commandments on Mount Sinai, the fourth commandment was, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. But you see, back in the day, we all know that Sunday for us Christians is the Sabbath. It's what we consider the Sabbath. That's a day of not doing anything. You cannot do anything, you cannot, it was like you can't do anything fun. But as an adult, I noticed that Sunday, which is the official Sabbath for us, for many Christians, has gradually become tainted with so many different things. Sunday is not what it used to be anymore. You see, many people work on Sunday. And some people, their 40-hour week includes Sunday. And I worked many Sundays without going to church. And it got to me one day, and I said, I can't do this. I have to get my octane. I have to get my spiritual octane to keep me going. So that job that I had, luckily something opened up where I can do Friday, Saturday, and without a Sunday. And I was happy. And most of us have to work on weekends because of the nature of our jobs. And so because for most of my working life, I worked on Saturday and Sunday out of necessity. Even though I never wanted to work on Sunday because I miss not going to church. But I had to. I was always having a guilt trip when I don't go to church on Sunday. And so I thought to myself, I'm missing out on the mark. I completely did not take Matthew 6:33 into account when it tells us to seek ye first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all this will be added unto him when we seek God first. And so, as I have gone in my walk with the Lord, I have gained a deeper understanding of Sabbath by studying God's Word. And this book that we studied just gave me the light bulb. You see, Sabbath does not mean we should not do anything fun or anything that will give us joy. Because Sabbath means we have to have joy. Sabbath is a time for us to get our spiritual octane. Like I said, I always needed that. Just like we have when we buy the gas. You have the octane, the unleaded one. And if you don't get the good one, your car will mess up. So it is time for us to refresh our souls and our bodies, the Sabbath time, and take stock of our lives during that week, or whatever the situation is in our lives. A time to reflect is Sabbath time. You see, when we take Sabbath, we can take any day of the week. It doesn't have to be Sunday, because some of us, because of the nature of our jobs, we can take any day. We have to pick one day, if we know we work on Sunday, that we can do nothing. I call it a day of nothingness. And just reflect on what you did that week, what projects you have ahead, the blessings God has given you, and the frustrations that you have to, you reflect on them. And we study His Word. We have to take time to relax also. A lot of us in this culture that we live in, we don't have time to relax. We are so busy running from one job to the other, trying to make ends meet, out of necessity. Sometimes, trying to do so many things that we forget to take time for ourselves. And we have to take time to repair our souls from all the unleaded octane that we've taken throughout the week. that we're going throughout the years, we have to be taking time for rest. And in one portion of Mr. Muller's book, Wayne Mueller, he mentioned about this man. He was a professor at a university in Maryland, University of Washington. I can't remember the name now. And this man was so busy that a man who was very perfect in all he did, he was busy every day just working, going home and working. And he came to work one day and crashed. It was not until he took time out and went to one of the island countries with his wife that he had time to reflect on his life and how he's been beating up his own body, forgetting to take rest. We take rest for granted. Sabbath is rest. But let's put this into perspective. Put a life in perspective. Because that's what it is all about. Our lives are filled with so much business and stress that we forget to take Sabbath time, rest time. We're just busy, running. We forget that when God completed creation on earth and us, He rested. When He was all done, He took time to admire what He's made. He said He looked at everything and He saw it was beautiful. And that's what we have to take time to do. Look at our lives, the blessings in our lives, and all the blessings and mercies that God has given us. How beautiful that is. In spite of what we think we're going through, because we all go through one thing or the other in life, but we should be thankful. And so when we read Genesis 2:2-3, that speaks to that. And it says, I'll read that. It says, on the seventh day, God ended His work which He had made, and He rested on the seventh day from all His work which He had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it He had rested from all His work which God created and made. You see, my Christian friends, if we continue to keep busyness in our lives, we don't have time for family, friends, people who matter to us, and our husbands, our relationships. There's a way that God has to slow us down. And He will slow us down so that we can take Sabbath time. Because our mission in life will not be accomplished to the fullest if we don't take time out for rest. We will burn out and life will become meaningless. So we have to take time out and rest. Rest is so important. I am guilty of not resting. I am always learning. My daughter always yelling, my friends are always talking because I'm doing it. Even when I'm sick, as soon as I feel a little better, I start doing it. I never knew I would be able to see to be today. I came to church last week, I had to preach. But on Friday, after we left the prayer line, I don't know what happened with my eyes. I woke up at 2, and I put the light on, I wanted to go out. And I'm like, wow, I can't. I wasn't able to open my eyes. And I was wondering what's going on. And I tried several times, my eyes were paining me, hurting me. I have never had such pain. Apart from when I had my back surgery, I've never had such pain. And it's okay, I went back to bed, but I couldn't sleep. But to cut a long story short, I had to prepare my sermon. The devil was always busy. He has always been busy and will continue to be busy. So he was busy that day with me. I said, you know what? Lord, I have to preach on Sunday. What am I going to do with this? I haven't finished my sermon. I started it. Well, I finished it, but I had a lot of things to do to tighten it up and correct it. Well, I can't get to the computer. So I struggled to come to church on Sunday. I drove with my one hand, holding this hand over my eye, this eye, because this was the one that started the craziness. And I said, Lord, and my daughter called worried, Mom, you can't go, you got to call them, you cannot drive like that. I said, no, I got to go, because the devil is trying to stop stop me, but I would not be stopped. So I came, and it was a word that the congregation needed to hear, which was just right for us for that time, for such a time as this, for what we were doing. And then come Monday, this right, the left eye took over. I was in so much pain. I could not drive. I came out to go to the doctor. I managed, struggled to get there. When I got there, the eye doctor, the lady who was doing my, she said, who brought you in? I said, myself. She said, what? You drove? I said, yeah. I had to drive myself. There was no one to bring me in. But I'm just saying this to see how I think rest is part of that when we don't take time out, and how the devil is busy messing with us. And so come Tuesday, this other eye took up over again. And now I am completely blind, more or less. I could not open my eyes. I could not see. This Wednesday just gone by. My daughter just drove 12 hours from Chicago to be there. And I didn't want to wake her up because she was tired. But I could not. For every time I came outside, I was blinded. I can't open. The eyes were not open. They were impossible to open my eyes. And I said, Lord, what is this? I said, the devil is trying to mess with me to get out of your business, but I will do your work. I don't care what he's trying to do. So eventually, she took me to the doctor's office. I went there, and how was it? And the lady who saw me, well, they couldn't examine me because I cannot open my eyes. My eyes were impossible to open. I wanted to open it, but I can't. I couldn't be in any room that was lit. I couldn't come to the sun. They couldn't do nothing because they have to use lights to come inside. So she said, you know what? You have to go to the emergency room. We don't have any specialist here today. So luckily I went to the emergency room. And the doctor was such a nice man. God was just in all the business, how he was. He was such a wonderful man. I've had wonderful doctors, but this man was exceptional. He went above and beyond. I wish to send an evaluation, let me read it. Because when he saw, he put something in the eye, I was crying like a baby day and night, not sleeping. Crying literally. As my daughter knows, I was in pain. Can't open my eyes. And the doctor put something, a dye, and he said, I don't know what happened. It just took over your eyes. I'm going to call a specialist for you right now. Usually they will give you the number, they say you call. But he went on the phone, left what he was doing, called a specialist. And one of the nurses or whoever was came to the room and said, the doctor's on the phone trying to get help for you. And luckily, it was God in it, it's not luck. The doctor that he called was a doctor who did the surgery on this one, because two different doctors did my eyes before, from cataract and glaucoma. And I went to him, I said, I was God without it, because I haven't seen him, my insurance was not covering anymore. That's what they had told me when I tried to see him. So I went to him, long story short, he said, I'm sorry I have to see you in this situation, try to help me out. And here I am today to do this. But you see, in the busyness of our life, this eye slowed me down because I'm not listening. Everybody who knows me. And they were mad at me because I haven't slept last night. And I was busy doing stuff or preparing meal. And they said, we're not going to talk, you're just stubborn. But we don't want to wait until something happens to slow us down. Because if we don't take Sabbath time, we don't take rest, there's a way God has for us to slow us down. And we don't want that. Because then life would become meaningless. So we have to do what we have to do. So in this world of business in America that we are in, because America is synonymous with business, success, and wealth. Everybody is running, rat racing, want to get this. But you see, life is not all about what we acquire. It's not all about that, because we have a God that we have to serve, and He wants us to take time out. It was important. We have to, let's note this thing I'm saying, that why you think God took a day to rest? Because He needed to replenish Himself and His soul. He needed it. Because we work. Sometimes we just have to say, forget that. No. I know I need the money. I know I need to do, but you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm spending time with my husband. I'm spending time with my kids. I'm going to go out with my friends, with my whoever it is. have to. We know how it is here. Because without money we cannot live. But we have to. Otherwise, if we don't take Sabbath time, God will find a way to give that to us. And during Sabbath time, it's all about the lives we touch. When we are taking quiet time on Sunday or whatever day we choose, we have to make sure we help other people. What are the different things we can do? You know, we work hard, we strive to achieve, believing that will give us joy and happiness. But no, you see, many of us come home at the end of the day so tired, worn out, but yet we continue with the same momentum that we left the office with, of stress. Instead of closing our minds to the office and taking time for other activities and refreshing our minds and our souls. You see, we are at war with our bodies. I am guilty because many times I say, God help me. I keep saying, I'm going to work on the Sabbath thing. When Mueller had just brought it back to me. But every now and again, I slip off the wagon and don't take time for rest. But it is very important to take Sabbath time, that rest that we need. You see, because we continue to push ourselves beyond our limits. And we cannot do that to our bodies. King Solomon in Ecclesiastes tells us that everything is useless, is worthless, basically. That we're running and striving about. The jobs, we want to achieve this, the success. It's meaningless in the end. So we have to take time. In the end, if we don't have special time, to include God in the mix, to include God in all the business that we have, it's not worth it. Because if we read in the King James Version of his book, chapter 1:14, it says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexations of the spirit. When you read that book, I've read it over and over, and you read Ecclesiastes, you're just like, wow, why am I doing all this? Why am I stressing myself, running over, letting stress take over our lives? It's not worth it. So let me ask questions here. So how much time do we give ourselves? Do we set tasks? Do we make phone calls? That's all taking Sabbath time, because that can inspire somebody else when you call them, refresh their soul, and refresh your own soul as well. So we have to. You see, nothing is more important than our family and the faithful loved ones we have in our lives. There's nothing so urgent or so crucial that we cannot take time for ourselves or those who are important in our lives. And there's nothing so important and urgent that we cannot stop and pray and take time out and pray. You see, prayer is a period of transformation. It transforms our lives. No matter what we're going through, the stress of the office or wherever we work, you come home, you need to relax and not keep the job in our minds. Because the culture these days, people take computers home and continue working. You're on vacation, you got to do work. Well, you have to tell them no sometimes, or tell yourself no. Because it is so important, I'm telling you, my friends, if you can get hold of that book and read that book, and the chapters are just short chapters, they're so meaningful, you'll just be like, yeah, wow, this is me. I know that's what happened to me when I was reading. So let it be a period of reflection when we take Sabbath time. If Sunday is a Sabbath time, after church, we pray. We have quiet time with family, or we call people we haven't talked to in a long time, people who are sick, people who mean much to us, we call them. Or people who need help. Do we volunteer? Do we do things? That's all parts of Sabbath, refreshing your soul when you go to the kitchen. Here on Tuesdays, we do meals for people. We cook hot meals. So it's like a therapeutic thing for our souls. God wanted us to have that because we did. And how many times did Jesus not take time out and go to pray? He would leave everybody, all the people there who were there to see him, and take quiet time. And he said, everything else does not matter. I need to refresh my soul. And he would walk away, leave his disciples, and go and pray. And so, in a nutshell, I have a couple of questions. Well, 3 questions that I have. I want Moira to pass it around. I just want everybody to look at these questions. Moira, can you just So I just want everybody to look at those questions and let me know your thoughts on those questions. Because you see, life is a balancing act. And we have to learn to know when our bodies need rest. We have to know when our body needs at Sabbath time. We have to reset ourselves, our minds, from the exhaustion our bodies have gone through, the trauma we've gone through with the body. Because we push our bodies. Sometimes, like I said earlier, it's when something happens that we think, take a stock at our lives. Jesus says, come to me all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So no matter what the stressors we have, let's just take rest. Let's just take Sabbath time. See, one interpretation of the Bible tells us the meaning of the phrase to pray. It means to come to rest. That's what one interpretation says, to come to rest. That's what to pray means. So we can pray during Sabbath time, Sunday, we have a quiet time. Because I remember growing up, back in the day, as I said, you didn't do nothing in my household. On Sunday, you go to church, you come home. They were just so methodical about what we do. No loud talking in the house, no cooking in the house. Back in the day, no shops were open. But things have all changed now. Yeah? So how I wish we could reset the clock and reset our minds and go back to some of those time and take time for family. If we take time, because Sabbath does not mean you should not have fun. You can still have fun. It's all part of taking time to unwind, to refresh. And so to get the joy of Sabbath, we have to forget about all the things that did not go right during this week at work, what we've left undone, what we want to do. Just forget about everything for that time being. Because this, I am reminding myself also as I say these things, to heed to these things, to make sure I practice these things and really take time out to myself. Because I know how exhausted I get when I don't rest. And so the questions I've just given you guys, if you've taken a look at it, I just want you to take a look at it. Let me give you a couple of minutes. Just look at it, those questions. So, if you have an extra hour of free time a day, how would you use it? How would you use your free time? If you have one extra hour a day? Anybody, just tell me, anybody who's good. We all need participate. Yeah.
Who wants to share?
Katrina.
I was asleep.
What is it? What did you say? Oh.
I was asleep.
Well, that's what it is, because we need that rest to refresh ourselves, to rejuvenate our mind, to rebuild us. Yeah. Sleep refreshes us, and it will take some of that unleaded octane because you have to sleep to refresh your mind. Anybody else? What would you do with 1 hour you have a day? They say just use this 1 hour. That you don't have anything to do. What are you going to do with that 1 hour? Katrina?
I read it in the morning to meditate and focus on the Lord.
Yes, because that's part of rest. You have to study yourself to show approved. That's what the word tells us. So, that's part of taking time out, Sabbath. Will refresh you. Anybody else have something they want to tell us? What they do about that?
I think about friends from there for a while. That's so we can all hear you.
That's my lovely friend I met at Benoist Church.
I think about friends that I have
That's what you do. Sabbath time is not all about us, about other people, thinking of them. Nancy, what would you do? I'm going to put you on the spot, but give it to Nancy.
Probably lay in the backyard and watch the birds.
Yeah, that's it. That's refreshing. Nancy's always so cute. Yeah. That is always, yeah. Because that's some sort of refreshing. Some people meditate through that, some people go fishing. And it relaxes you. And that's what we need. Relax and watch the birds. Yeah. Anybody else has something you want to share? What they do? When they have that free time? Reverend Alexander, what?
I'm on Facebook posting something about the Lord.
Amen, amen. Yes, amen. Okay, amen. All right. So, well, how do you find balance in your life? And do you have a balanced life? All of us, I'm asking a question. Do we have a balanced life? Because life is a balancing act. God wants us to balance that, our life with the business and His business as well. So how do you do that? How do you do that? And maybe I should go to the other question. How will you change what you're doing now to enjoy Sabbath and the joy that comes with it? Because many of us don't take time to rest. So what, can somebody just tell, what are you going to do? What would you do to change all the business that we're doing?
Say no to the whole time at work.
Amen. Amen to that. Yes. That's true. Say no to the overtime at work. When they call you for overtime, say no, I need it, but forget it. You know what? I used to do that. Yeah, honestly, I used to do that. They call me for overtime and I get tempted. I'm like, no, I'm not working. No. Yes. Even though I need the money, but no, I'm not. We have to do that sometimes. Yes. Because it's not all about the money. Like Solomon said, when you look back at all these things, what it is. What it is. Yes. So it doesn't mean nothing. If our souls are not right with the Lord, if we don't refresh our minds from all the mess that's out there that are sucked up into our minds and our hearts, then it's useless. And so in some way, Moira, what I was going to ask this here, in some way, this is what the what are we going to do with something? So what are we going to do with the information? With this information? So what are we going to do with the information presented? That's what I was calling about, the information. Because that's a sum of all what we, because I just summarized Sabbath and justice because it's a big, broad thing. It has so many parts to it. But so in some way, what are we going to do with this information? Because that's the other item of the agenda. What are we going to do? Because God has given us a life that needs balance. What are we going to do? We're going to balance our life. We're going to try to rest. We're going to try to do what we're supposed to do. Because God has given us work to do, so we can continue. He has asked us to rest, so that we can relax, refresh, and commune with Him. Because that's important, we have to commune with Him. In the midst of our Sabbath, in the midst of our rest, we have to commune with Him. So when we balance work and rest, what we're doing and rest, then we have a fulfilled life, mentally, physically, and spiritually. A spiritual life is fulfilled when we do that. And so in addition to setting aside the day as an opportunity to focus on God, because Sabbath is focusing on God, we have to gather for corporate worship and think about some things that really refreshes. Like Nancy said, she'll lay out, watch the birds, or just look. I like listening in the summertime. early in the morning at 5, I usually would ride on a Saturday, just drive to nowhere. And just enjoy the sun. I just love that. And I love the setting of the sun and the rising of the sun. I'll do that summertime. And it's such a refreshment to my soul. So we have to make effort to take time to honor the Sabbath. We have to take time to refresh and restore our soul, our body, and our minds, because it's all the whole being. Because God had a reason why He took rest and why He gave us that important commandment to remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Remember to rest and keep it holy by remembering Him, by praying, by meditating, and by thinking of others and doing something fun that you like to do. Because Sabbath is not all about being so morose, but just quiet. Yes, it's a time to focus on God, but a time to focus on other things. So I pray that we've all taken something out of this, and that we'll, if it's possible, find that book by Wayne Mueller and enjoy what he writes. That's a book you can read endlessly, over and over and over, because it speaks so much volumes to how we live our lives of business, especially this culture that we live in. Amen.
We give a hand clap to Minister Victoria for reminding us to take time out to rest, to have Sabbath time. I think one of our sisters said she will sleep. I can identify with her because I don't sleep. And there are so many reports that have come out recently about the sleep deprivation of Americans. And so I just pray that this word will resonate with us and that we will find times to have Sabbath time, because life is so busy, as she said. So I pray that God will help us to take to heart what she has shared with us, and we can find time to rest. Keep in touch with family and friends. Call people and pray with them. Find out what's happening to your neighbor, relatives, friends, people that you haven't talked to in a while, people that you haven't seen in a while. I pray God will help us. You know, we are all a work in progress, and just by His grace that we can do anything. And so I pray that the Lord will help us to find that time to rest and refresh our souls, our bodies, and our minds. And at this time, I will call again on Minister Victoria Williams to let you all know what we have been doing in the past year and what we hope to do in the future.
See, over the past year, we're only 2 years. It's the second birthday for us. So over the past year, we've been trying, since the celebration last year, we still continue to meet on Tuesday and Fridays, the prayer line. And so we thank God for the prayers He's answered. Yeah, He's answered many prayers for us. So people come to us with prayer requests, and I'm a believer in prayer and fervent prayer, because the prayer of the righteous, the fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. That's what the word says. So I believe that everything I do, I have to bombard heaven with prayer. I have to bombard God with prayer. So I thank God for that, because we take prayer seriously in the circle. These are women who are real prayerful women. We take prayer seriously. And we're grateful for the many answers with God. We continue to do the Bible study on Friday. Tuesday, we just have prayer meetings. We just pray for people who come to us with requests, and for ourselves, our families, just for everything else, and the country, and countries, and the world. And so, we continue to do this every week. The last book, we just finished this book, Sabbath, by Wayne Mueller, and we thought it was so great that we thought this is what we're going to use for our theme this year, because a lot of people don't enjoy Sabbath. They don't realize there's so much joy in taking Sabbath time, in taking rest. And so we are reminded that life is not all about running around and just about chasing and chasing and chasing. It's about stopping sometimes. And so even Jesus took time out to rest, because He gave us an example as He spent time alone in the Garden of Gethsemane before He was taken to the cross. And so I pray that we'll endeavor to include alone time for us in a schedule. And as I mentioned last year, we reached out to some, we told you we will be soliciting funds. And we're in the process of trying to get a 501c, but we are registered with the state of New Jersey as of now, but we haven't got a 501c as yet. And so what we planned to do yesterday, we did an outreach. We went to Providence House in Wallington County on Roncalcas Road. We took the women who generously contributed toiletries because they were in dire need. When we went and saw the inventory they had, they only get 75% of grants. And so they need help. And I believe that we have to back up our Christianity, our faith, our prayer with works. Because what does the Bible tell us? That faith without any action, without works, is dead. So how much? You're going to say, I have faith, and you don't do nothing. So that's one of my biggest things I believe I have to have. And I believe in when John Wesley says, do all the good you can to as many of the people you can. I'm just paraphrasing what he said. As many as you can, in all the places you can, for as long as you can. And I believe in that. I hold to that. That somebody is there who needs some help. Even though we don't have anything, but we put our resources together to help these women and children who needed help. Because it's a shelter for domestic violence women. But we don't see them. We just went to the office and we had a tour, and they gave us a very good tour. We watched what they do and how they get funding and all that. And they were so happy. We took 30 bags of something of this, put them in this color bags, so many kind of toiletries, and we sent for them. It was a really, really worthy bag for them to have. When any one of them will get a bag, will experience how important they are to people who care about them. And so, we're going to move on. We might be reaching out to the other people in the not so distant future for us to help, because there's so much neediness out there, so much people who need help. And I believe that if I have half a bread, I have to break it and let somebody else who doesn't have some my own hand. That's how I was raised, and I believe in that fervently. So I believe in missions. And so that's what we're doing for now. And tomorrow we're having a Thanksgiving service in church here in the afternoon at 1 o'clock. And I pray that God is going to move in a way that He's never moved before. We're going to have a preacher here, Reverend Alexander, who will be bringing the message for us tomorrow. And I thank God for her and her life and her faithfulness. So that's what we've been doing so far. That's the updates we have. That's That's my assistant, Uma Badin, I call her. I was Hillary Clinton's assistant, was Uma Badin, so that's her.
It's not about us, it's all about the Lord. We are all in it together, because the team makes the dream work. Hallelujah, let's give the Lord a clap. Let's praise Him. The Lord is up. Hallelujah. Jesus started with prayer and ended with prayer. And so now I will call on our minister and our leader, Minister Victoria Faux, to a time of prayer.
Amen. Glory to God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You know, friends, prayer is such a wonderful experience, because it's an experience. Because it's a personal thing with you and God. Prayer is the key that keeps us together. Because when all else is failing, when all seems lost, we can always pray. And that's the one thing that never never fails us, prayer. And so as we get together, I ask we all join prayer. We're not going to make this long because we're going to eat and people need to do other things. So we're just going to get into the time of prayer. Great and mighty God, we come before your throne of grace this hour. Thank you, O God, for 2 years that you've spared mercies, for giving us grace to come to this time. Lord, for such a time as this, you have spared us. For such a time as this, you've made it possible for us to interact with all the people who are present here today. And so, God, I just thank you for what you're doing, because I know you're going to do a new thing in our lives, and each and every person present here today, in each of us, you're going to do something in our lives. And so, Father, we thank you. Lord, we give you the praise, we give you the honor, we give you the glory. Because, Lord, on a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, which was the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross, where the jealous and blessed. How lost sinner was me, for me was slain. And so I'll cherish the old rugged cross till like my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to that old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. Father, let us exchange a crown, oh God, that old rugged cross someday for a crown. Let us exchange all the business of our lives and all the things that hold us down, oh God, and cling to that old rugged cross, which will exchange someday for a crown. Father, we thank you. But Lord, we know you're God in the day and God in the night. You're God of the mountain and God in the valley. That no matter what we're going through, whether we're under the valley or up high in the mountain, that sometimes the mountain seems so high to climb and the valley seems so low. But God, you see us through and you bring us through and you bring us out. And many times you just show up and you show out. And we are left in awe. I always say, God always wow me. Because many times that's what he do to us. And we'll just wonder, wow, did this happen? Yes, for he's an awesome God. He's a God who never changes. So God, he never changes in a day or time, on a night time, whatever it is. We can run onto him. So I thank God for tonight, this evening, this afternoon, for all of us who are here. I pray that God will meet us all at a point of need, that whatever we're going through, whatever our circumstances, those who are sick, in body, in mind and soul, financially, spiritually, whatever it is, that God will give us that healing, because he's the healing balm from Gilead. And we thank God for today. And we just pray that God will continue to minister to our hearts and to our loved ones. In the mighty and matchless name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. We're getting close to fellowship time, and so I will call on our sister Madonna Hill to give the vote of thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Primary thanks, paramount thanks goes to Jesus for bringing us together today, the Holy Spirit for being the MC through Sister Anuria. To Sister Moya. Special thanks to our guests. Some were able to make it, some for one reason or the other, they are not here. But we want to give you a special thank you for you honoring the invitation, and we pray that God take you back safely to our different homes. Thank you for our DJ. He has always been part of us, and he's been wonderful. We thank you for Reverend Fancy Alexander. Thank you for your wonderful song ministration. We thank you for our leader. She has been very hardworking, even with whatever the enemy came up with for the eye issue. we thank God. We thank God for the church, the premises we're using, and the members, and everything that each and every one of you did to make this day a success. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Before I call on Reverend Nancy Alexander to say the closing prayer and to bless the food, I promise you you're going to enjoy what has been prepared.
Praise God. Are you happy to be in the house of the Lord? Are you happy to be in the house of the Lord? Yes. Praise God. I am happy to be here once again. Yes. Praise God. The Bible said where 2 or 3 are gathered, touching anything concerning Him, He is in the midst to bless. Praise God, and to do us good. And we are more than the numbers. Praise God. Miss Vicky, don't feel bad about the crowd. Because I am not a fan of crowd. I am not. I don't like big churches. I like to be with people that we can hug and kiss and meet and greet. Praise God. Some of these big churches, I know it's called to pray, but I just want to encourage the leader. Praise the name of Jesus. If that's okay with you, God. Praise God. You have to make appointments, praise God, in these big churches to see your leader. You have to go through this one, you have to go through that one. Praise God. But when we come together in this small fashion, we know each other better. We serve God better. Praise God. We don't have no clique or no group trying to cut this one off or that one off. Praise God, we are workers together. Hallelujah. God is a good God. Hallelujah. When I think of the goodness of Jesus, and all that He has done for me, my soul cry out, hallelujah. Thank God, hallelujah, for saving grace. Lord, I thank you for today. I thank you for the speaker. I thank you, Lord, for the moderator. Lord, I thank you, Lord, for the prayer that has been gone up before. Lord, I thank you, Lord, for the singing. I thank you, God, for the greeting. And Father God, I thank you, Lord, for everything that has been said and done. It has been said and done in your honor and in your glory. And Father God, I pray, God, that you will continue to bind us together in love and in unity. Hallelujah. I pray, God, that whatever the enemy might have set up, hallelujah, plot against any one of us today, I bind it up in the name of Jesus. And Father God, I pray, God, that you will bless the food and you will anoint it. Oh God, I pray, God, that you will bless the one that provided and prepared it. And Father God, as we partake of this food today, I pray, God, that we will digest it in the name of Jesus. And as you're about to go with us in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
I pray that you've all been blessed and we all went home praising the Lord as we have been in His presence. We have to prepare
You get to that for me. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nissi, I am that I am. Ooh, oh, I search around, there's no one else like you. Lion of Judah, you're the man.
God has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
God has given me victory.
God has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
He has given me victory.